So there's another onslaught of new fragrance releases that are going to drop soon if they haven't already dropped. Some of these are being promoted by the brands. Some I've just heard about here and there, but I'm excited to share them with you guys. Let me know which fragrances you're most excited about that's going to land soon. Is there anything that you really are looking forward to? Let me know if any of these in this video you're looking forward to. The first fragrance, it's not a new fragrance, but Tower Perfumes is launching, or I guess some kind of a giveaway of the original formula for L'Air du Desert Marocain, which used to be called, I guess, Air du Desert Marocain. So it's called Air du Desert Marocain Vintage. Now, I'm a big fan of this fragrance, and I can only dream to have a bottle of this, but I think he was just giving away 2 bottles of this. This is what I caught off of his website. I mean, I'm sorry, not his, well, website too, because that's where the info was. But on the giveaway was being run on the Instagram account. Are you guys a fan of L'Air du Desert Marocain? This is something I really would love as a collector, as I've been a big fan of the original L'Air du Desert Marocain, which is a dry, spicy, kind of a Petitgrain forward amber fragrance. But a vintage version of it would be so awesome. So I think he's been around 20 years. The fragrance has been around for 20 years. This is a 20th anniversary. But I'll be going to Pitti Fragranza, which is in Florence, in September. I think he might have the fragrance there. So I'm looking forward to get my nose on it. And I shall report on it. If anybody's gotten their nose on the vintage, let me know. Add a comment below. But let's get started with a real list of fragrances. We've got a fragrance from the house of Guerlain. This is Shalimar L'Essence. So this is the 100th year anniversary of Shalimar, so they're launching a brand new fragrance. But from what I heard, this version reminds me of the not me, but reminds or is sort of similar to the Millésime Vanilla, which launched in 21, I believe. And I never got my nose on it or was able to obtain or get a bottle of it, but I'm looking forward to this. What do you guys think of the look of the bottle? Seems to be very modernized. It doesn't seem kind of vintage, so I guess they're trying to appeal to younger folks, but it seems like it doesn't match the Shalimar look personally. Let me know your thoughts, add a comment below. But this is a fragrance that's redone by Delphine Jelk, featuring bourbon vanilla, ethyl, vanillin, iris, bergamot, and rose. So they had the Millésime Vanilla, they had the Millésime Tonka, then they had the iris and the jasmine, maybe not in that order, but this kind of goes back to the Millésime Vanilla, I think, but we'll just have to get my nose on it very soon. I'm looking forward to it. But the next fragrance is also from Guerlain. It's FLORABLOOM. It's another fragrance created by Delphine Jelk. Where has Terry Wasser gone? He's not doing much of the fragrances. Maybe he's going to retire. Who knows? But this features notes of belle de nuit flower, frankincense, mango, patchouli, rose, sandalwood, tuberose, and ylang-ylang. I haven't been really a fan of these new kind of Guerlain Aqua Allegoria style fragrances. We shall see how it is. And actually, just recently, I got my nose on Pêche Mirage. Is anybody a fan of Pêche Mirage? I kind of liked it, but I remember getting my nose on it once before, and it wasn't really doing it for me. But we shall see. Maybe my chemistry had changed. Things smell a little different. But the next fragrance is from the house of BornToStandOut. It's Free Coco in this new orange bottle created by Jerome de Marino. This guy's becoming very popular. He's done quite a few fragrances for Room 1015 and also Un Nuit Nomade. This fragrance has the name Coco in it, so it's about coconuts. So coconut water, coconuts, macadamia, pear sorbet, bourbon vanilla, vanilla absolute, orchinox, and vanilla. So we've got tons of different varieties of vanilla. So it's a vanilla coconut combo. But I kind of like the macadamia feature in it. What do you guys think? Let me know, add a comment below. But of course, the next fragrance I've already spoken about quite a bit. It's Bleu de Chanel exclusive, a very expensive fragrance created by Olivier Polge. It's sandalwood, amber, and labdanum. Guys, if you didn't understand this already, my complaint is about the price, not the smell. In fact, the exclusive might be my favorite of the bunch. I just think it's too expensive, but I know the times we are in, prices of fragrances are going sky high. And it's quite pricey for a men's designer fragrance. So That's my complaint. But I enjoyed this one. What do you guys think? Add a comment below. All right, next up, we've got a fragrance from the house of L'Orchestre Parfum. It's Bouquet Encore Latte. This one I got to sample earlier this year during Essence. This is created by Pierre-Constantin. This is almond milk, bergamot, jasmine, sambac, ylang-ylang, musk, tonka lactone, vanilla, and white cedar. Does this one sound good to you guys? Latte idea sounds kind of fun, but it's a nutty, milky, lactonic fragrance, featuring the note of tonka lactone as well. So we're gonna have a very nutty, milky, and also a white floral kind of a fragrance here. We shall see. I liked it, but I don't think the fragrance was 100% finished yet from what I recall. So I'm looking forward to get my nose on it. The next two fragrances are from the house of Valentino, one of my least favorite houses as of late. Let's see how these are going to be. These are both in really gorgeous kind of ivory colored bottles. It's the Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Ivory series, and then we also have Donna Born in Roma Ivory. The Uomo is bergamot, Provençal lavender, fire, firewood, and smoky notes. Wow, this is kind of extreme for a L'Oreal controlled brand. So I can only imagine this going really mass market, especially also with the fact that it has fire, firewood, and smoky notes. But who knows, we'll see. And then the next one sounds very familiar once I tell you the notes breakdown. This is Donna Born in Roma Ivory. Green mandarin, orange blossom, marshmallow, bourbon, vanilla, musk. What does that sound like to you guys? It sounds like Love Don't Be Shy. So it's that kind of a fragrance that's the direction I think it's going to lean, especially with the marshmallow, the orange blossom, and the vanilla featured in it. We'll see how they are, but I do enjoy the bottles. The bottles look beautiful, I think. That's why I'm talking about them here today, but I haven't really been into this collection. I think the collection in general is pretty mediocre, for me at least. Might be your favorite fragrance, so if it is, I apologize, but I think it's pretty mediocre for me. The next fragrance is a redo of MMW by Givenchy. It's 3 Avenue George V. So I'm not French speaking, so I know it's George V, but George V, so that's the number 5. So it's a reworking of MMW, as I said. It's Olivier Cresp, cardamom, palo santo, ambrox, cedarwood, ISOE super, sandalwood, vetiver, CO2. I actually really enjoy MMW. I think they launched MMW as a limited edition or something because it was not really easy to get. And I think the reason why they're relaunching it, maybe they want to launch a permanent collection fragrance since it's been so popular. That's why they're changing the name. We shall see. Is this something that you were a fan of, MMW? I wouldn't think it's something very substantial. It's a fragrance that's more like musky, minimalistic, woody, spicy. So it wasn't like a really intense kind of a fragrance, but a lot of people like that kind of a fragrance. If you're a fan of fragrances like Molecule 1 and those kind of fragrances with a bit of more substance, also maybe something like Another 13, I think you might like the MMW, which is now becoming 3 Avenue George V. Let me know, add a comment below if you are looking forward to this. All right, next up, we've got a new fragrance from the house of James Healy. It's Pomelo Crush. So I'm still not sure what's going on with the brand. The brand doesn't have any distribution in the States. At least I can't find them. But they do have some great offerings. Recently, I just featured their ginger fragrance. I think it's called Zeste de Gingembre in a ginger video. If you didn't catch that video, please go catch it, especially if you like ginger fragrances. I actually really enjoy the Zeste de Gingembre from Healy. This one's called Pomelo Crush, created by James Healy. It's honey pomelo, orange blossom, rhubarb, white blossoms, tarragon, musk, amber, and vetiver. Now, there's a note that doesn't show up that often in fragrances. Tarragon, what do you guys think? Are you a fan? Do you enjoy the herb yourself and to consume it and things like that? Do add a comment below. But the next fragrance is from the house of Labo. It's a Kyoto exclusive, city exclusive, Osmanthus 19. Not one of my all-time favorite notes, but I can see this fitting the brand perfectly. Osmanthus creates that the apricot effect, sometimes leathery as well. I think they're probably bringing out, well, maybe they're bringing out the resins, the leather in this one because they have a lot of resins for this fragrance. But featuring frankincense, lavender, osmanthus, resins, and woods. I'll hope to get my nose on this. I haven't been able to get my nose on a lot of the city exclusives lately, so I'm looking forward to this and a few others. I've been completely underwhelmed with Le Labo lately. Their myrrh was great. I bought that one, and it's a city exclusive. Really loved it. It's still kind of soft, not beefy fragrance. So I'm hoping this one's a bit stronger, but you never know. It's a city exclusive for Kyoto. The next fragrance is from Commodity. It's called Milk Orchid, created by Christelle Laprade. It's cotton, almond blossom, coconut cream, fig milk, magnolia, vanilla orchid, macadamia milk, sandalwood. Can you believe that? Macadamia has come up twice today in this video. Let's see if it's going to become popular. Do you guys like macadamia nuts? That nutty note is not a very common note that comes up as a nutty note in fragrances, so maybe it's a start of a new thing. We shall see. I like the original Milk from Commodity. I think it's their most popular, and it's a given they're creating a flanker of it. But this is not in the Scent Space collection, at least I don't think it is. This is just a flanker of the original Milk, so it's going into different directions with nutty notes and musky notes and cotton notes and things like that. So let me know if you're curious about this one. Are you a fan of the Milk fragrance from Commodity? Do add a comment below. Next, we've got a fragrance from the house of Nina Ricci. It's a flanker to the very gorgeous bottle fragrance Venus. This is Venus Eau de Parfum Intense. So if you caught my videos shot in the south of France, one of the videos I shot was with Alexandra Monet, perfumer for Firmenich. She mentioned Venus in the video. She had one of the videos I shot. We spoke about it. So this is a flanker of that fragrance. And if you haven't caught that video, please go catch it. But this fragrance is co-created with 3 different perfumers, including Alexandra Monet, Nathalie Lorson, and Olivier Cresp of Firmenich, or DSM Firmenich. This has notes of blackcurrant liquor, mandarin, jasmine, magnolia, TR, benzoin, bourbon vanilla, patchouli. I think the bottle is just super gorgeous. It'd be great. I don't have too much experience with the fragrance itself, so I do want to get my nose on it and see. But so far, I like the sound of the Intense. I can't remember what the OG Eau de Parfum was all about. If you're a fan of this fragrance and you have a bottle, let us know. Add a comment below. All right, it seems that Nishane has another exclusive fragrance for another giant retailer in the UK. This is Selfridge's exclusive, also created by Jordi Fernandez. We had one recently we discussed for Harrods. Now we have Oudous Cerasus, also created by Jordi Fernandez, featuring Akigala wood, patchouli, Spanish cistus, honeycomb, honey pomelo, maraschino cherries, cologne, and mandarin orange. There's that word that I don't really care for, cologne. Let's hope it's very minute amounts of cologne in this fragrance, although I'm not sure about this one. The previous one sounded better. And actually, I mentioned it in the previous video when I discussed the Harrods exclusive. I actually got to sample another fragrance. I thought they were launching 2, and now it sounds like they're launching 3. I can't report anything on that fragrance. I hope to as soon as they announce that 3rd fragrance. But I'm still curious to get my nose on this Oudous Cerasus, and we'll see. I'm not going to London anytime soon, but these are available to be shipped to the States. So if you're in the market for them, buy them, because both Harrods and Selfridges do ship. The next fragrance is from the house of Juliette Has. It's Powder Love, a fragrance created by Romano Ricci. This is marshmallow, cotton candy, candied almonds, orange blossom, tonka beans, ambroxan, and musk. What's going on with Juliette Has? Their fragrances seem to be going in one type of a direction, super girly, feminine, but also featuring a lot of musks in the base. And usually the Ambrox or Ambroxan or Cetalox appears quite often. This one comes in a super pink bottle, so I have a feeling it's going to be super pink as a smell. Marshmallow and cotton candy. Okay, it sounds very girly to me. What do you guys think? Now, next fragrance from the house of Christian Louboutin. It's from the Fetish collection. It's called Lavande Fetish. Now, if you guys recall, L'Ambre is my favorite in that collection. I instantly fell in love with it, where the rest of the collection I didn't really care for. Although I had only sampled like the previous launches, not the most recent launches. So I still have to get my nose on some of the most recent launches. But this one is created by Domotil Michalon-Bertier. It's black leather, hyacinth, and lavender. I haven't heard of this combination of hyacinth with lavender and black leather. Although there's a exclusive limited edition fragrance from Towerville, Andy Towers' Towerville brand, that is kind of a leathery, greasy, oily hyacinth fragrance. I don't know how similar this will be, but I'm quite curious about it. But hyacinth is such a gorgeous flower, very spring smelling, green smelling. So how's it going to work with lavender and black leather? I don't know. We shall see how it is. But this does have the word lavande in it, so it's going to be a lavender prominent fragrance. So I'm curious to get my nose on it. But the next fragrance, going to the house of John Varvatos, we've got Artisan Forest next. Are you guys a fan of this house? It's been a while since they've launched a fragrance, but as I was researching this fragrance, I came and found out that, I realized that the brand is under Revlon, and I'm not the biggest fan of fragrances under Revlon. So well, although maybe I should say the more reformulated fragrances under Revlon from classic brands. But last launch from John Varvatos was a bit of a dud. So this one actually sounds quite cool to me. I'm curious to get my nose on it. The notes features here are ambermax, cedarwood, patchouli, vetiver, violet leaves, artemisia, bouchou, Smyrna figs, rosemary, fig leaves, galbanum, migniola, tangelo. It seems like it's going green and figgy. Sounds really nice. Plus it's got the violet leaves for ozonic touches, crispness. This one actually sounds like it could be good. So let's see what it's all about. Also, there's a new Rammstein fragrance, Rammstein's Kraftstoff. It's been a while since I've seen fragrances from this house. They were launching fragrances quite frequently. It's been a while, as I said, unless I'm not catching them. I do have a pretty extensive collection of Rammstein fragrances now. Let me know if you guys want to deep dive on those. I don't have everything because it's really tough to get these fragrances. They also kind of release them and then clear them out and then launch new ones. So they're not always around, but still I could do a video if you guys are curious. I know some of you have mentioned that they have rape accusations. I'm not too familiar with the band itself. I've known about the band for years. I used to be in the music business, as I've mentioned in the past, but not the kind of music I like personally. But I do like the fragrances that they've launched, and I'm curious to see what this one's all about. So featuring notes of bergamot, ginger, grapefruit, lemons, mandarin, black currant, geranium, leather, neroli, amber, and musk. Sounds pretty straightforward. Simplistic, although the leather seems like it's going to be something pretty potent. But let me know if you guys are into the fragrances of Rammstein. Add a comment below. Are you a fan of the band? Again, I'm not a fan of the brand. I might like some of their music, but I felt like the fragrances are really nice and niche quality for, celebrity fragrances. The next two fragrances are from the house of Gritti. First fragrance is Muscaria. It's by Luca Gritti. He's the perfumer. So it's a musk-focused fragrance: frankincense, ambrette, benzoin, bergamot, leather, musk, patchouli, rose, spices, and vanilla. I really love musky fragrances. So these two fragrances sounded really great, so I wanted to report on them. But generally, I'm not the biggest fan of the brand. There are a few standouts here and there that I like, and I've featured them for you guys. But these two sound really, really great. Like the next one called Vanilla Tana, also by Gritti and created by Luca Gritti, featuring Vanilla Absolute, Amber, Baobab. I don't know what it is. Sorry. Baobab, Bourbon Vanilla Absolute, Pink Pepper, Sandalwood, Tonka, Vanilla Orchid, White Musk, White Orchid, Ylang-Ylang. So many different things, but so many varieties of vanilla in this one. It's a vanilla bomb, it sounds like, but kind of going into a floral woody direction. Are you guys fans of Gritti? Let me know. Add a comment below. Are you curious to discover these two fragrances? Let me know. And last but not least, two fragrances from the house of Kayali. It looks like they are continuing their Oudgasm series. We've got two new Oudgasm fragrances. And remember, 2 years ago, we featured Oudgasm fragrances in a Scent Club kit, and we actually gave a fourth sample of there was 4 launches from the collection in the kit. So I know we sold out pretty fast of that kit, but this is Oudgasm Milky Musk Oud 30 with notes of sandalwood, oud, suede, pink pepper, strawberries, ambrette, and incense. And then the second one is Oudgasm Chocolate Oud 11. So this one seems like it's a chocolatey, boozy oud fragrance with cocoa, rum, orris, oud, apples, caramel, chocolate, velvet, incense. So I've never seen the note of velvet come up in fragrances. My favorite of the Oudgasm fragrances happens to be Cafe first, Tobacco second, and it's a toss-up between the rose and the vanilla for third place. Between these two, the chocolate sounds good, but somehow I think the musk is going to be my favorite. But we shall see. I like a good gourmand, and this chocolate oud seems like a oudi gourmand fragrance. Let me know if you're a fan of the Oudgasm fragrances from Kayali. Add a comment below. Were you one of the ones that got the kit that we did with the Oudgasm fragrances? Let me know. Add a comment below. And that's the last 2 fragrances I have for you guys. Let me know which of these fragrances you're most excited about, and is there anything else out there that you are excited about? Do add a comment. Let me know so I can find out. But otherwise, guys, appreciate you stopping by. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Click that bell icon as well so you'll be notified for all future videos. And please give a thumbs up for this video so it helps with the algorithm. See you later. Bye-bye.